We talked about present participles in one of our previous lessons. In today's lesson, we'll talk about past participles. When you hear various terms like the present perfect, past simple, and the past participle, it's easy to get confused and feel unsure about what they all mean. So let's see together what the past participle is and what it is used for. Before moving to past participle, let's see what participles are. Participles are non-finite verbs. A non-finite verb is a verb that does not show tense. This means if you look at just a participle, you cannot tell if you are dealing with the past tense, present tense, or future tense. Look at these words. The first one is present participle, whereas the next two are past participles. Can you tell which tense they belong to? Do they belong to present or past tense? The point here is participles alone cannot indicate the tenses. They need to take some be forms to do so. And as the be form changes, the tense also changes. For instance, we can use the past participle gone in present, past, and future tense with auxiliary verbs has, have, had, and will have. But if seen alone, a past participle cannot indicate the tense of a sentence. Let's see what past participle is and what functions can it perform. Participles are amazing words. One minute you use them as verbs and the next moment they appear as adjectives. Past participle can also perform multiple functions. It can function as an adjective to describe a noun, or in the perfect tenses to form verb tense, and it is used in the passive voice as well. As an English student, you must have seen a table like this consisting of 3 columns, one for the infinitive, the next one for the simple past, and the third one for the past participle. The third form of the verb that's usually written on the right side of a table like this is the past participle. A past participle is quite simply third form of the verb which is used to show a completed action. Most past participles end in ed, but sometimes there are irregular formations as well. As you can see, the word clean is a regular verb and we have added ed to make its past form and past participle. Whereas the word break is an irregular verb, having a different past form and a different looking past participle. Usually this occurs by adding a suffix to the verb, but sometimes there are irregular formations as well. These are the examples where past participle has been used to indicate verb tense with the be forms has, have, and had. And in the last example, this third form of the verb has been used in a passive sentence. Once we are able to identify the past participles, we need to learn how they are formed so that we may use them correctly. You are already aware of the fact that there are 2 kinds of verbs, that is regular verbs and irregular verbs. So the rules for making their past participles are different. We'll see rules of both kinds one by one. Let's begin with the regular verbs. If the verb is a regular one, the past participle is formed by adding ed to the most verbs. See these examples? We have added ed with the word jump and paint. So we get the past participles jumped and painted. Some spelling variations occur in certain cases. The first one is if the verb consists of one syllable and has a consonant vowel consonant sequence at the end, double the final consonant before adding ed. Look at the examples. The verb chat has this CVC combination, that's why we have doubled the last consonant t before adding ed. The next rule is do not double the final consonant if it's W, X, or Y. The verbs so, play, and fix end at these 3 letters, so we have simply added ed to make their past participles. If the letter E is already there, we need to add a D only in such case. You can see the examples. The word thrive and amaze already have an E, so we have added only a D to make their past participles. The next rule is if the verb ends at a consonant plus Y, change the Y to an I and then add ed. See the examples? Now we're going to see how the past participles are made in case of irregular verbs. In case of irregular verbs, the past participles are formed in different ways. See the examples? We have different past participles from each of these verbs: arise, arisen, draw, drawn, swear, sworn. So you just have to learn the past participles of irregular verbs to use them appropriately. Past participles formed from irregular verbs may have endings like en, t, and n. Some irregular verbs have the same second and third forms, means their base form and past participle remain the same. Examples include the verbs set, cut, hit, shed, put, broadcast, etc. You just have to memorize participles of this kind. The other function of past participles is that they are used as adjectives too. In this way, they modify nouns or noun phrases. Look at the examples. We were careful to avoid the broken glass. The stormy weather ruined my good mood. In the first example, you can see a past participle modifying a noun, and in the second one, a noun phrase is being modified by the past participle ruined. Here are some examples of past participles used as adjectives. It's difficult to distinguish or identify participial adjectives because they often look like verbs. Finding their placement in a sentence is the key to understanding how they are being used. If they are preceding a noun or pronoun, they are definitely being used as adjectives. See the first two examples? The word laminated, torn, and dyed are the participial adjectives. You can see they have been written before the noun or pronoun they are modifying, but sometimes a participle may follow the noun or pronoun that it modifies. See the last example? The participle refreshed is following the pronoun she. Past participles used in verb tenses. Apart from being used as adjectives, past participles are also used to form verb tenses. They are used in all the perfect tenses. Look at this table. I have baked a cake, I had baked a cake, I will have baked a cake till 2 o'clock. The past participles have been shaded in all these examples. Past participles can also combine with the verb to be to create the passive forms of verb. For example, the clothes were being washed, the flowers were plucked, he was taken to the store by his son. Here, the underlined words are the past participles that have been used with the be forms in passive voice. And here is a small quiz to check whether you can spot past participles or not. Think of your answer and then you can see them on the screen as well. You will have 5 seconds to choose the answer. The correct answer is the word abandoned, and it has been used as an adjective here. The correct answer is broken. It's a passive sentence and the past participle has been used as a verb. The correct answer is the word flown, and past participle has been used as a verb over here. The correct answer is frightened, and it has been used as an adjective. The correct answer is buried, and the past participle has been used as an adjective here. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, you can share in the comment box or you can email your queries at the given email address.